Hi, this is Joe here with another movie review, and to pretty much end my horror movie phase that I'm in now since we're in October. I'm going to do, really the last real great horror movie, or last great monster movie that's well done by Universal, and that of course is King Kong, coming out from 1933 by Radio Pictures or KO Pictures. And of course, those of you who've been brain dead in the last 80 years, what King Kong is basically stars Fay Wray, Robert Armstrong, Bruce Cabot. I'm not sure if Bruce Cabot played the skipper of the ship, or forgot who else. Forgot he played Jack Driscoll, the guy who saves Fay Wray from King Kong. And the movie basically is about Robert Armstrong, who plays his movie director, called down, and he wanted to make a new picture, but the movie studio is telling him you gotta have a girl in it, gotta have like a romantic angle to his latest film. So he goes out the streets of New York City and finds a new girl, and he ends up bumping into Fay Wray. He just came off doing some other horror films. He did like The Vampire Bat. He also did another film called The Most Dangerous Game. Matter of fact, in The Most Dangerous Game, she does star with Robert Armstrong, who later on she starred with in King Kong. In The Most Dangerous Game, Robert Armstrong plays Fay Wray's brother in that. And those who haven't seen The Most Dangerous Game, that is a good movie as well. And of course, King Kong, to go to this island called Skull Island to film Kong, because he heard Robert Armstrong's character heard about this legend named Kong. And he said, "The skipper, you ever heard of him?" And he said, "Yeah, I heard of him, but I thought it was like a myth or something." And he said, "No, it's not a myth, because I got this map from this other ship captain, and he told me that it wasn't. It's not a myth, because he visited this island. And it was called Skull Island. He had this mountain in the shape of a skull. So they go over there, they travel down there. It's supposed to be like in the Caribbean or some kind of like a West Indies type thing. And actually, of course, when the natives saw Fay Wray's character, they said, "Oh, let's have her be Kong's sacrifice instead of the woman that was supposed to be the sacrifice for Kong." They said, "Oh my God, you want to take her?" They said, "No, forget it." So they go back on the ship. Of course, the natives come to the ship, kidnap her, and have her as a sacrifice. And then by the time the crew found out she had been taken, they found out that she was on the ship. So it was already too little, too late, and she was already grabbed by Kong. And it wasn't until about like 40 minutes into the movie which you actually do see Kong for the first time, and you always curious. If you never saw the movie film for the first time, you always want to know what Kong was. Unlike the other, films, the Universal made, you already know, kind of have an idea of what the creatures would look like. In terms of Dracula, or Frankenstein, and the Mummy, and the Wolfman, you kind of have an idea in your mind what a Wolfman would look like, or what the Mummy would look like. And you have your own imagination with the other monsters in the Universal made. So Kong, you really didn't know until about more than 40 minutes, or almost 40 minutes into the film. And it was a giant ape, it was a giant gorilla. And the special effects in this movie, please excuse the sound in the background, because we're having like a thunderstorm here in New York, and a possible tornado warning. So if you hear, that's the rain hitting my window in the background. So don't go. There's nothing wrong with the audio. That's what it is. And so they go in and rescue her, and most of the crew dies except for the Cold Dem character and Jack Driscoll. And Jack Driscoll does track Kong down in the jungle and does rescue Fay Ray. They come back, and actually, of course, Kong does track her back, and they end up capturing Kong. And of course, they bring him to New York. And of course, that's where the most famous, not only the scenes on the island, but of course the scenes in New York is more famous. Of course, what happens at the end, of course, Kong does get Fay Ray back, and he climbs to the top of the Empire State Building, which of course was just open in 1932, because it took him about like 2 or 3 years to build it, and so it was fairly a new building. So right away the new building is used in this movie, and Kong climbs in, and of course here comes the airplanes, and they shoot him down, and they shoot at him. Machine guns on the plane. Because something, I think before you never really see war pictures before. We use planes in a war movie before. Until then, even though this is not really a war movie, but that's what they used to shoot him down, and he climbed and he fell, 102 stories down to the ground, and he was dead. And of course, the famous line at the end is, "Oh, it looks like the airplane's got him." And he says, "No, it wasn't the." And Cordell says it wasn't the airplanes; it was beauty killed the beast. Because of Fay Ray's beauty attract Kong, they get it no matter what. So that's pretty much what King Kong is. And King Kong was really a great, scary movie. And I always remember it used to be airing here in New York on Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving weekend for 7th October, for Halloween, or air around Thanksgiving weekend, because they didn't have anything else to put on local channels, on that football or the Thanksgiving parade. So they have one of the other local channels puts that on. And when they used to have it on, my mother and I always look forward to seeing it, because it was one of my mother's favorite horror films, other than The Mummy. It was like The Wolfman, The Mummy, and King Kong. Those like the 3 favorite horror films. And King Kong is definitely the longest of the movies in the 1930s, or the horror films in the 1930s, because it's about an hour 40 minutes or an hour 45 minutes long, something like that. And the Universal films was usually approximately about maybe anywhere from an hour and 10 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes tops. And this is like at least 20 minutes, 25 minutes longer than that. And it's, even with the actually 25 minutes to put in the Universal films, it's well worth it. Because that's how good King Kong is. I mean, they took a longer span, because to tell a movie like King Kong, you have to have it extra longer than that. And the other films, or the other remakes, the one in 1976 with very young Jessica Lange, and they used the World Trade Center in it. And because of 9/11 attacks, the movies, I think it aired on this TV, or 11/3. I picked up on 11/3 on my Gorilla Box, on a digital channel, and they aired it a couple of times. But it had to be like about 10, 11 years since 9/11 to now to air that film. Of course, I also seen the Peter Jackson version, and even though it's like over a 3-hour film, it was really dragged out. But still, stick with the original film. And that's my review of King Kong. I know it's pretty short. So please see the original King Kong 1933. Of course, it has the famous scream of Fay Ray, and that's what really made the movie work. Her famous screaming in that. I don't know if that's her actual scream or not, but over the years, of course, actually, the Empire State Building made a boatload of money on tourists because of King Kong, and A Fair to Remember, and of course more recently, Sleepless in Seattle. They all use the Empire State Building in those films, and they do use somebody in a King Kong costume walking around the building as the tourists go up to the 82nd floor and then the 102nd floor. just to scare people. So please watch the original King Kong. And it's probably will be my last video with the horror genre. So please like the video and comment on it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.